All right, hello everybody. How's everybody doing this Saturday? See, we got a few people joining us, and we are going to kick things off with another giveaway. Let me get that started. So we're going to give away another one of these sand fountains. Hot and sunny. You know, it's sunny where I am, but it's not hot at all. It's cold outside. Last I saw, it was like 50 or something like that. It's not like extremely cold, but you know, it's almost the end of April. Where's my warm weather? We had like hail the other day, so it was, not that fun. So let's get this giveaway started. We're gonna give away a sand fountain here, same thing we did last week. So I'm gonna start the giveaway, and in the chat, well, if you want to make sure that you're on the Sandbox Twitch stream, so that's twitch.tv/ the Sandbox game, and you want to type !sand for me. That's the numeral 4, and that's what you want to do to enter the giveaway. So let's start seeing that pop up in the chat. And I see we got one person joining already. So welcome all. I hope you had a good week. I had an interesting week. I got to play around with the new Game Maker version, and I got an early, unstable copy, and it was not working well enough for me to finish something for this weekend. But we'll get there. I should have a new version any day now, and so hopefully next Saturday I'll be able to make a game for you guys. But we can talk a little bit about the cool new stuff that I saw in the Game Maker. There are a lot of features that have been asked about that I didn't know if would be in this version that I can now confirm some of them will be in the new version. And hi Bopang, what is this? What is this stream, or what is on the screen right now? This stream is me talking about Sandbox stuff, about the Game Maker and artwork and the metaverse and whatever else you guys want to talk about. So you can ask me any questions. If you're asking about what's on the screen, this is a fountain that I made in VOXEL, and it is an NFT. So there's a limited number of copies of this. And thank you. My wife's handing me some water here. All right. So for this particular sand fountain, it's a NFT, meaning there's a limited total number of copies. Even though they're digital, it's like they're real. So there's only, I believe, 100 of these. And I have a few that were left over from the last pre-sale round, and I'm giving some of them away. So if people want to enter the contest, you can win this, and you could trade it for real money. You could use it in your game. You could do whatever you want with it. VOXEL, it's crashing for you. Cajun1. Well, I would say there's a few different things that could happen with VOXEL. It is still a beta program, so there's some glitches and bugs, but the main thing is if you go to the VOXEL folder, which is located, whether you're on Mac or PC, it's basically the same place. You go to your users folder and the one with your username, and there should be a folder in there called VOXEL. And then there's a couple files that say recent rigger, recent animation, recent modeler, recent block editor. And that's the list of recent files from anytime you created something, or anytime you opened up a file, it shows up in there. If you delete those recent files, if you're crashing when you first open up the tab in VOXEL for whatever part of the program you're going to, that usually solves crashing there. If your creations are crashing when you try to open them, that could be several different things. I would suggest going to the official Discord for the Sandbox, which you can find on the Sandbox website. If you go to sandbox.game, there's a link for the Discord there. There is a VOXEL support channel where I and some other helpful people in our community can help try to answer that question. So I would say also make sure that you're on the latest version, which is available on the Sandbox website. Don't download the one from the VOXEL website. Go to sandbox.game, not voxedit.io. Just because the sandbox.game one is definitely the most up-to-date one. And sometimes that'll fix it. So yeah. All right. So hi everybody. Let's see. Let's give a couple more minutes. Let's talk about the news, and then we'll give away this fountain. Give more people to join in. So, stuff that's going on. The contest is ready for community voting. So we had about 200 entries for the artwork contest, which was a lot of stuff to go through, a lot of really good stuff, a lot of amazing designs in there. And because I didn't have a chance to make a full game to show today, we're actually going to take a look at the finalists and some honorable mentions. So let's first show how you can vote in the contest, and then we'll take time to take a look at all the entries and see the amazing work that got submitted. So let's take a look at, this is the new forum. So if you go to forum.sandbox.game, this is our new forum that you can join in some community activities. You can create your account there, and this is the first way that you can vote for the winners. So there's all the information here, and I'm going to talk about the different things that you can do to vote. You can vote up to 5 times. You could vote for the same thing 5 times. You could vote for different ones each time. Totally up to you. If you have different ones that you want to see win. There's all the information at the top, and as we scroll through, each one of these is numbered, and you can see the top. I believe it's 24. Our 24 staff picks. So the staff voted on this first. We looked through it. We selected the best artwork, what we thought was the best artwork, and we voted on it, and we took the top 24 and are showing it to the community now, so you guys can vote on it. Okay. And that's all that artwork. And you can see some people have started voting in here. So you basically comment on the thread with the number of what you would like to see win. All right. So the other ways that you can vote to use all 5 of your options, and they're all linked in this forum post. And I'm actually going to copy and paste this into the chat so you can grab that link and start voting if you want. If my computer will let me paste. There we go. All right, so that link is in the chat. So you can go to our gleam.io page, and you can scroll through all of them and pick a winner. That's pretty simple. It says 4 ways to enter. I think maybe we add an additional way after that. You can see there's 4 days left on that, so you want to do that sometime this weekend. And you can vote on Twitter, so you'll want to retweet this. Make sure to keep Sandbox tagged and add on your vote, so you can pick that. And if we go over to Instagram, there's also a post there. So on these, you'll have to remember which numbers you want to pick. You can reference the forum post for that. And on Instagram, you do the same thing. You could comment, and then do the same thing on Facebook. Okay? So it's pretty simple. You can vote on the forum, on Gleam, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. All right? And so now we've got, how many entries we got here? We got 10 people entered. Facebook is dead. Well, it's not quite dead. We get a lot of traffic on Facebook. Facebook isn't my favorite place. I tend to waste too much time there, but that's not Facebook's fault. That's my fault. So let's see if we can get 15 people entered for this. We get a few more entries going here. Remember, type !sand for me in the chat. You have to be on the Sandbox Twitch channel. So go to twitch.tv/thesandboxgame to enter the contest, because I can only do it on one platform at a time. So get a few more entries there. And yeah, let me get VOXEL started up here. I thought I had it already open. Oh, I do already have it open. Okay. Make sure the camera's behaving here. Okay, good. Okay, so let's see. Let's let's take a look at the honorable mentions first. So these are ones that did not meet the requirements for the contest, but they were really, really good. And yeah, I thought I was missing one. I'll have to grab that later. 1 second while I organize the file here in the background. There is I just gotta move a folder here. I thought I put it in the right place and I put it in the wrong place, so shame on me. Alright, I think I've got all the contest entries here. In there. Okay, good. Now we're all set up. I did this all earlier and then I missed something. So we're gonna look at the honorable mention here, and this is a really amazing asset. It blew all of us away. I think everybody in the staff, if we could have like forced a certain winner, we would pick this one, but we can't for a couple different reasons, and I'll explain why, just so that way it's clear as we do more things in the future, so people kind of understand what's going on. And yeah, Block Chase, you would love to see the magic internet money fountain on your land. Yeah, me too. I want to see it on your land. You know, even if you don't win the contest, you can still buy them from me. So if you find me on OpenSea, you're welcome to make an offer on those. I do post those for sale every once in a while. So we're going to open up this. This is the honorable mention for the contest. It is the DeLorean time machine from Back to the Future. And let me see if I can move this panel out so you can see things a little nicer. So this was an amazing model. It's super detailed, super accurate. And unfortunately, we can't put this in the sandbox. There's two main reasons. The first one is that it's a trademarked, copyrighted property. It does not belong to us. It doesn't belong to the artist who made this. So while it's a great piece of fan art, we can't put other companies' intellectual property without their permission in the sandbox. So you might have noticed in our last pre-sale that we had Atari and some other big names join, and Atari is totally free to put Pong and Centipede and Roller Coaster Tycoon and all the stuff that they're going to put into the game maker. They're totally allowed to do that because it's their property, but this belongs to, I believe, Universal Pictures, and is just not something that we can do. It even has the DMC, the DeLorean Motor Company logo on there, so it's not even like it's a generic thing. It's something that we can't have. Cajun asked, how does GTA get away with it? I don't know. Either GTA has a licensing agreement with what did I say it was? Not Paramount. Whatever the studio is, Universal Studios, I think. Either they have an agreement, or they made it generic. So if this didn't have the DMC logo on it, if it didn't have, I don't know if the flux capacitor is licensed, if that's copyrighted or not. If it wasn't so like accurately the DeLorean with the time license plate, I think it says out of time in the movie. Yeah, they have a bunch of cars and they just changed a few things. Yeah, then that might have been a possibility. But with the DMC logo, it's very clearly it's we would get in trouble. So that's the one reason. Maybe we would have found ways around that. The other reason, which is a more technical, specific reason, and somebody mentioned it, Gundam ZZZ mentioned it, that it has too many faces. It has way too many faces. So I love this kind of style. I enjoy making artwork like this with the crazy amounts of detail and these little notches all over the place, and every little thing is articulated. But this is at 10,373 faces, and our limit for faces is 5,000. So this is more than double the amount of detail that we can that the game maker supports for files. So if the artist, let's see, I had his name up. Where'd it go? I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. It's Zhenchen Chou, maybe. If that artist can simplify it and remove some of the trademarked aspects of it, like the logo, and kind of make it a little more generically DeLorean-like, then yeah, maybe we could have something like that in there. I know that one of my favorite racing games, Burnout Paradise City, has a very DeLorean-like thing. It even does the hover and fly. But let's take a look at some of these cool animations the person put into this. Where'd my timeline go? I lost it. Let's see here. There it is. So this thing will go into flight mode. This gets really crazy, guys, so you gotta pay attention. So the wheels go in, it lifts off. You can even tell that the flux capacitor there is pulsing. It's a little bit hard to see unless you zoom in. So you can see that going on. And the back thrusters light up. And Gundam Z asked if we plan to make another contest in the near future. I don't know of one that's specifically planned in the immediate future, but I'm sure we'll be doing more stuff for the community to participate in. We've had a lot of fun with this, and it's a great way to get people involved. So, yeah, we'll do more stuff in the future. I don't know specific plans or when that will be, but eventually. All right, we got a hover. There's a nice soft little bob going on there. And you can see the flux capacitor is pulsing on all of these, so they put a lot of detail into that. The idle, I don't know if it does pulse on the idle, so now you can see it really clearly. So they animated all these little pieces going, and you can even see, there's the rig going. So lots of little pogu, P-O-G-U. I don't know what that means. Sorry, Cajun. I'm too old for the lingo, probably. I turned 30 last year, so I have no idea. Door left. So we got the doors opening and shutting. Like that. And we got door right. And we got both doors. So the artist who made this didn't know this. The way that we are setting things up with our artists in the community right now is if we have something moving, we also put a final position for it as a static pose. So you want the door to be able to open, it'll stop, and you'll have a separate pose of just that door open, and it will stay in that position, because in the game maker, you'll tell it to kind of transition to that spot, or you can pose it in that spot specifically. So you want to have all the options. If you just have it opening and closing all as one animation, then it limits what the game designer can do with it. I don't know if the artist is watching this or not, but that is my advice to anybody who wants to make something like this. And then the last animation is time travel. So that's cool. All the things light up there. Got all that energy pulsing around. So yeah. Hey, Pepe. Yeah, it's a very slick animation. So that's why it gets an honorable mention. This is something that I would have really loved to have in the game, and something that was worked on. I can tell really a lot of effort put into that. Is just for the two reasons I mentioned. It's intellectual property that we in the Sandbox, we can't publish that, and it's just too detailed. Now, there are a few things they could have done to reduce that detail. I'm actually going to open that back up and point them out. So things like this, the support beams here, those don't have to be stepped like that, because with the with the animator, you can rotate things, so you can make this one straight piece. So while, each one of these faces is 2 triangles at least, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then, you've got a few dozen triangles just for this bar. You can make it only in 6 or 6 faces, would be 12 triangles by making a bar to go diagonally across that. And throughout there, you can do that. I apologize if there's some popping noise, guys. I had to do a last-minute swap on my USB cable for the mic, and I'm hearing some crackling on my headphones, so I think I need to get my mic sorted out, but hopefully it's not too loud for you guys. All right, so that's the honorable mention. Now let's take a look at the contest here. How many entries we got? We have 15 yet? We got 14. One more person needs to enter the contest. I'll give you 10 seconds to type sand for me if you go to twitch.tv/thesandboxgame. And we will give away this sand fountain. I will direct message you after. And let's see. Let's open up the giveaway tab here. Got 14. Okay, our 10 seconds is up, so we're just going to go with the 14 entries we have here. We have a lot fewer viewers today. I'm not sure what's up, but we're going to stop the giveaway. And John Locke from Lost. That was one of my favorite shows back in the day. Congratulations, John Locke. You have won the sand fountain. Maybe you can put that on your island and keep away the smoke monster or something. And the next one. Now, you guys should share this Twitch stream on Twitter and stuff, because I am giving away a land, but I'd like to do it if we have like 50 entries. So we're going to start another giveaway. And hopefully we'll get 50 people joining in. If we get 50 people joining in, I'm going to give away a land, whether that's official from the Sandbox, or I'll even give away one of my own lands if I have to. But let's try to share the stream and get some more people joining in. All right. And let's I'll take some questions on the new version of the Game Maker. Thanks, Block Chase. Yeah, this background is by a VOXEL artist known as Nos, KNOS. He's on Twitter and Instagram, and I think he streams on Twitch sometimes too. And he's one of my favorite artists. I've had the chance to work with him a little bit and talk to him a lot, and he's a really great guy. So he put this together, and I begged him for a nice high-res copy. This actually spans over my 2 desktop screens, so it's a really big image. And let's see. Let me talk about some of the new features in the Game Maker real quick. We'll play some stuff in the background here, so it's interesting to look at. And yeah, so the new version of the Game Maker has added some really cool features that I know people were asking for. So let's see here. Let me just check my streams going on here. Okay. So let's see. I wrote out a list here. Where'd it go? Okay, yeah. So some things that people were asking for specifically in the Game Maker was sound effects. So sound effects have been added in the new version that's going to be coming out, or that is kind of rolling out slowly in unstable test stages to us and staff. So sound effects are going to be in there. I think right now it's just a click noise, but you can set it so that way if you press on a button or touch something, interact with something, it will play whatever noise you select, and right now it's a click noise. So that is working in the Game Maker. There's now climbable objects, so we can do things like ladders and staircases. So that's going to make environments a lot easier to traverse. So kind of like in Minecraft, before there were stairs, you kind of had to jump up every single block. That's kind of how it works in the sandbox, but now with climbable stuff, we're going to be able to turn on ladders and stairs, and people will be able to walk right up them. So that's exciting. Attack and damage, there's now health bars. You can put health on anything, so you could have a door with a health bar, and you can punch it over and over again until the door breaks. So you can set health levels, you can set the health for your character. There's an attacking animation, so you click and you punch. So you can have combat, you can have item damage, and there's block and object destruction now too. So you can set up objects to be considered a void, and that means they exert an area of deletion. So you can either have like the bottom of a pit be a void, so if you have spawned objects falling into a pit, you don't just like fill up the pit, it will actually delete the objects as they touch the bottom. You can also do that with blocks. So if you want destructible blocks, you can set a list of which blocks can be destroyed, and you can do something like a wrecking ball, and you could crunch through a block-based building or an object-based building. You do it for objects and blocks. So that's really cool. One fun thing that I did playing around was I set an object with physics, kind of like the asteroids you're seeing on the screen now, and it will let you kick around an object that deletes blocks as it goes through. So you can do something like a soccer ball of death or something like that. You can kick an object around and it will destroy things in its path. So that's pretty cool too. Let's see, what else was there. Multi-land experiences, that's a big one. So now in the Game Maker, we'll start being able to build larger experiences. You can set, I think, up to 4x4 right now, if I remember correctly. That's it works out in rectangular shapes, so you can't do like an L-shaped one or anything like that, but you can select to start a level from 1x1 to 4x4, and you can do any rectangular shape in that for the experience. Let's see, what else was there? There's some more behaviors being added for NPCs and things like that. I'm not sure if this will be available in the version that's coming up soon. I didn't get a chance personally to test this one, but there should be things like healers and different kinds of NPC behaviors. So as you interact in different ways, you can have kind of like RPG elements where you might have like a health, like a doctor, like in Pokemon or something, where you go and you get your character healed. The other one, sorry, my list ran out, but there's things that I'm remembering from what I was playing around with yesterday. What about in a row, i.e. over 2 wide? Yes, yeah, that's why I was saying a rectangle, not a square, P. Wilson. So the land I was experimenting with yesterday before everything crashed on me, I was doing a 1x2 land. So it was going to be like a pathway progression the long way around. So yeah, it's going to give a lot more flexibility that way. Let's see. What was the last thing? my brain just failed me. So maybe I'll remember later. So let's cut this out and let's take a look at the contest entries. So I want you guys to get a real good look at all the different things that people have put together here. So we're gonna go one by one through them. All the entries here. our 24 finalists, and we'll just go through the numbers. So this is the red robot. This is number 1. This is based on one of our dinosaur templates, and I'm going to move this back in here so we can see. All right. So this has some of this just has like our normal run and idle animations, but you can see they did a cool thing with the jaw here. They gave like little guns for the jaw and a big glowing eye inside what would have been the mouth, and it's pretty aggressive there, but that's a pretty sweet one. I don't know that it really needs to eat, but it has that in there. And number 2 is the Cctv Bird, because, you know, birds aren't real, or so I've been told. So, it's like a little owl, and it's got these little, it actually like walks on its wings, which is pretty cool. And it flies. It's got its cute little back legs tucked up in there. Number 3, we've got the Terror Bird. This is another, I believe this is based on, it's on a dinosaur template. This one's kind of big. It takes a little while to load. And so this is like a prehistoric bird. Ooh. There we go. Chose the wrong animation file there. So I think some modifications were made to this animation actually, because I don't remember there being this much stretching on the default dinosaur template. I could be wrong. Does a nice little flap when it attacks. So that's pretty cool. Now this one is crazy. All right, everybody, get ready for this. The person who made this put so many animations in this. Hopefully this runs all right, because the animations in VOXEL at least are a little intense for my computer to handle. And when I play them back, I'm not sure if streaming is going to be very happy with me, because that many things are going on. So it's this cute little fairy character named Alice. She's got a key weapon on her back there. I think that's a clock on her hip, and then a little bunny riding on her. And let's try to go through the animations in a way that makes sense here. So we got idle, and you can see there's little sprite particles going off here. I think that the thing that my computer doesn't like is showing all this timeline scrolling on. It's not so much the animation itself. Cajun asked, you can purchase objects on the Sandbox page yet, right? You cannot right now. During the pre-sales, sometimes you can. So pre-sale number 1 did, pre-sale numbers 1 and 2 both had items for sale. Pre-sale 3 did not have an item sale yet. That there are items prepared for a pre-sale. I don't know if that's going to happen before the 4th pre-sale or not, so stay tuned for that. But besides those items, items are not for sale yet. You can find some of them on OpenSea, and people can directly trade them through your wallets. But it's still going to be a little while before the marketplace opens up fully and everything is for sale. All right, so now these start getting really crazy. So we've got the magic trumpet cutter. So she's got like spells and all of these flashing graphics and stuff. And yes, she like draws a circle that turns into these Lucky Charms, and they go shooting out, and it's just insane the amount of work that went into this. Limited Dog and Crypto Kaiju. Yeah, so that's kind of they're partnered with us, and that's kind of a separate thing. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think the Crypto Kaiju's been minted yet. So it's the people who have bought that dog will get that NFT when it's available. But I'm not sure that the NFT has actually been minted. I did the modeling for that, and our lead animator helped with tweaking the animations to make them just right for that character. So as far as I know, that's not in the marketplace officially yet, but it's something that they bundled with the sale of their item. So she's got a cute little run, normal interaction, kind of a normal attack, but she's got these little sprites flying off. Yeah, Pepe, I thought you'd like this. Pepe's done some pretty cool animations too. She can self-heal, so she uses a spell to make a cake and then eats the cake. And you can see her facial expressions change. So when she gets hit, she makes a little squint. Her eyelids move as she walks. And there was another spell. Where'd it go? I thought there was another one. Magic Trumpet Cutter. We looked at that. Heal. I guess it was just the fly that I missed. So she can fly, and then she can die. And all of her little fairy dust particles go flying. Pog. Cajun, you said what Pog was earlier, and I kind of missed it. You said it's an emote. Something really cool. Huh. Okay. I don't know why. I'm pretty new to Twitch. I've only started using it the past year or so, so I'm not familiar with all the lingo and stuff. Pajaluku couldn't get the Vox Editor Alpha to open or install. Well, we're in beta now. You can see right here it says beta, so I'm not sure if this was like a long time ago you couldn't get the alpha to work, or more recently if you downloaded the beta version and if it didn't work. Anybody who's having technical difficulties like that, I would suggest going to the official Discord. So go to sandbox.game, and there's a link on the website for the Discord channel, and we have a dedicated VoxEdit support section where me and some other people help with technical issues. There's a lot of different things that could cause the program to just not open in the first place. A few of them we have specific solutions for, and other things might be weird outlier cases that we're not aware of yet. Okay, so now we've got the Bone Dragon. Speaking of insane models. So this one is absolutely crazy. So we've got really nice details. So this is a good example of the Sandbox style of what we're trying to use with our creator fund artists. It's very blocky, but it is still showing the shapes nicely. Because this comes in at 4,640 faces, so we're close to the limit, but we're not over it yet. And for an asset this size, that's totally fine for it to be close to the limit. You can see that there's a lot of spots that it could have been rounded, and I don't think that would have added anything to it, and it would have definitely made the face count higher. So this was really well executed, and also has a bunch of custom animations. So let's see, we've got, I think it's idle test. Yeah. You can see each of these wing pieces are moving independently and spreading out. And Cajun asks, do I need a sick portfolio to be accepted into the creator program? It doesn't have to be a sick portfolio. It can be a healthy portfolio too. We have a lot of artists of different skill levels, so we don't expect everybody to be able to make something like this. Some people are better at 2D graphics, and they can make things like posters and textures and decorations. That's good if you're like a pixel artist, if you have a pixel art portfolio. We have people who do character modeling, who do object modeling, architectural modeling. So we have a lot of people with different skill sets. We try to get everybody to do different kinds of things and kind of stretch what they can do. But if you have a specific focus, that's something that we can work with also. And yeah, we try to get everybody in that we can. Obviously, we do have to maintain certain standards, so we do ask for a portfolio. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a sick one, but it is good to show what kind of artwork you can do, and especially we recommend people show voxel art. So people sometimes submit different kinds of artwork, and that doesn't always tell us if you'll be able to do voxel art, which is what we're doing here. So if you're a painter or a photographer or something, those might mean that you have like an artistic eye that can help, but the main thing we would like to see is what can you actually do with voxels. So I would recommend at least like 3 voxel art pieces to submit in your portfolio, just so you can show what you can do. So if you've only made 3 pieces, but they look really good and you want to submit those in your application, then go ahead and do that, and we'll see what you can do. Let's take a look at some more animations here. That. The air jump. So that's the takeoff. Look at all those joints moving. Isn't that crazy? All right, we got an attack. That's kind of like the regular dinosaur attack, but those wings are moving too. Got to get hit. You can see those wings really crunch up. Gundam ZZZZ says he voted for this one. I'm assuming sorry. Yeah, that's, I can't blame you for that. Let's see where some of the other, got run. A little bit of wing squishing going on there. We got fly. Now something like this, we might adjust this before putting it in the game maker, to move it back down to the origin, because we would have to see how it works, because things like jumping and flying, we try to leave that motion inside the game maker itself. So there might be some tweaks to the final position, but the animation itself is excellent. And finally, death. Look at that collapse. That's great. Look at the way the bones fall on the floor. If I can get them in view. They flop, and then they land right on the ground. I can't wait to see that in the Game Maker. That's a now. Remember, a lot of these are going to end up in the Game Maker whether they win or not. So the 5 top prizes will be awarded, but pretty much everything that you are seeing here will have the opportunity to be in the Game Maker, as long as the artist wants to do that. So the artists maintain the ownership of their artwork. That's the way our standard practices for Sandbox stuff is the artists get to keep the ownership of what they do, and they're granting the Sandbox a license to use it. So anybody who's entering to this contest can publish their stuff to the marketplace. So as long as it works within the confines, so it can't be intellectual property, has to be within the technical limitations. So yeah, whether the Bone Dragon wins or not, I want it on all of my lands. Let's see. There was a question. Gundam Z says, about the contest, when you said entries get access to our creators and community and creator fund, what does that mean exactly? Is that something automatic? It's not fully automatic, so basically accepted entries, you have the opportunity to be in the creator fund. Some people might not want to be. The creator fund, we do have certain things that we ask of the artists, so we try to get everybody to submit at least 10 pieces of art a month, which some people blow that way out of the water and do like 30, 40 or more. Some people it's a little more difficult. Maybe they have a full-time job, or they're not as quick at voxel art stuff, and maybe they only do like a couple a month. But we do try to keep people active and regular in the group, so that way when we have assignments to give out, we can rely on them to get it done. So some people might not want to join the creator fund, but it is and people whose artwork was accepted into the contest as valid pieces do have the opportunity to join in. So as far as automatically picking the people out, I'm not sure how and if exactly we're doing that, but basically submitting your artwork to the contest is kind of like submitting a portfolio. I would recommend applying through the Creator Fund link on the Sandbox website also, just to make sure that you get our attention, because with 200 entries, it's kind of hard to go through everything quickly. So if you're interested in the Creator Fund, I would definitely apply anyway. I know a couple of the artists who have submitted for the contest have also applied to the Creator Fund, and some of them are in the Creator Fund now. So I would definitely do both if you're interested in doing that. And I just minimized everything accidentally. I'm not sure what I did. I think I hovered over something. All right, so that was the Bone Dragon. So we're running out of time here. So Undead Hellhound. Take a look at that. So this one, this one's at 5,204 faces, so it's like just over the limit. We have a little bit of wiggle room in the top end, although we would probably ask that a few things get simplified a little bit. So maybe some of these backbone structures maybe would get blocked out a little more. And then I believe this is all just the standard animations for the dog template. But yeah, you can see some really nice bone work in there. Clankersh asks, the estate that are marked for Sandbox games, are they being held for future partners or staying as the Sandbox? I'm not totally sure about that one. I think I think probably a mix of both. I do know that the Sandbox has a bunch of stuff that we want to do with our own land. As far as giving it to partners, I think some of that is actually going to be as the map expands, as the rest of all that land is opened up for sale. there's reserved spots in there that are going to go to partners, and that's kind of decided before the pre-sale occurs. So if the whole land is not necessarily sold out, but if everything's kind of like if all the big chunks are parceled out and Sandbox has some large reserves and a partner is interested later on, maybe that'll be an opportunity to open that up for them. But there is a max limit on the number of lands, so I am not sure how many opportunities will be left after everything's kind of spoken for. I'm not really involved in that aspect of things, so I can't speak to that in too much detail. And yeah, the Gundam, that's the texture on that is really nice. So now we've got another one that's kind of, it's a bit over the face limit if I remember correctly. It's got a few too many things going on in the main here. But yeah, it's 5,400, so it's not immensely over. To get this in the game maker, we would ask that the artist kind of simplify a few of these, maybe remove some of the stray voxels and smooth a few things out. And then this one goes after the big cat model, I think. I don't see the template name. But it's got some nice glowing textures going on. It's got a whole mythical kind of thing going on here. Let's try to rapid fire go through the rest of these so I don't run out of time here. We got a Gladiator Robot. I believe this is based on the human template. Yeah, so we got a nice saw blade weapon here and some sort of blaster on the other arm. Yeah, you wouldn't want to get hit with that. All right, and then we've got a Watchdog. Now, I don't remember. I think this is built on the canine. Yeah, it's built on the canine template. And this one's got some really cool. It's got really unique uses of the template because I don't think too much of this is custom changed in the animation. But you can see that they took the head and the jaw, which would have been animated, and turned them into like this hologram, which is kind of gives this like aiming rectangle kind of thing going on, which is really cool. So you can kind of see it moving around more, and some of the other like running, you can see them bouncing up independently. Attack, it goes like really crazy. I mean, you can imagine that's like the accuracy of the aim going off, kind of like in a first-person shooter when they move the leg there. Let's see. I don't think there's any custom animations, but then they die. So yeah, that's a really unique use of the template. We like seeing stuff like that. I'm not sure how to say this. I think it's Dunkleosteus or something like that. It's like maybe like a prehistoric fish. Look at this ugly guy. I mean, it's like beautiful in an ugly way, or ugly in a beautiful way. And this is a template fish item, so these animations are preset. And then take a look at the attack here. You don't want to get hit with that. Nice chompers on there. All right. We got a yellow robot. And it's being a little slow. There it goes. All right, this is another human template one. And it's got a big pincer arm and kind of like a regular human arm. Got some nice lit up elements here. It says Dark Knight or Bloody Axe Warrior. I know. So there's the person who entered this had a whole bunch of different NPCs, and I'm trying to see. I want to make sure that it's the right one that I'm showing you. Ooh, okay, yeah, it's the Bloody Axe Warrior. So this is the one everybody is voting on. I think just the file name says Dark Knight, which is another one that was submitted. So this is based on the human template. It's got some nice little details going on there. That person actually, I believe that person's in our creator fund. So hopefully we'll have some nice medieval assets from them, because they submitted a whole series of people. I think another one, the Bowman, which we'll get to later, is by the same artist. So I think we'll get to see a whole bunch of really cool medieval NPCs in the Game Maker. Here's another human template. We've got the Dimension Patroller. Some cool glowing effects. Ooh, my box edit crashed. Uh-oh. Let's see if it opens up nicely for me, or if it's going to give me a hard time. You can see some troubleshooting live in action here. Let's see. Yep. Okay, crashed. So you get to see what happens when VoxEdit's crashing like that. So you can see I'm in Users, Alex, VoxEdit. So that's my VoxEdit folder. And you can see these recent files, recent rigger, recent modeler. So if I just delete the recent rigger file, that will fix that crashing going on. We see your hacks exposed. Yeah, no, I want people to see these hacks, because I have to answer the question all the time. So if you see them, see. So now there's no recent files listed, but it's not crashing. So I'm not sure what causes that. It's been reported to QA, so hopefully they're working on a solution for that. Let's go back to finalists. And we just did the Dimension Patroller, so now we're going to look at Caveman and Dino. Number 14. Now this one's it only has one animation, but it's really cute. So it would be like a good little decoration. So you got this cute little dinosaur here. I love that guy. And this toothy caveman. And I guess you would find a spot in a cave to put him. And then we've just got a little water drip going on. So he looks up and watches the drip go down. So it'd be a nice little decoration. And we're actually doing a whole set of prehistoric stuff in the Creator Fund right now. So everybody's working on the desert biome stuff. So you get wasteland and desert stuff. You can do Wild West, Middle Eastern, and prehistoric stuff with cactus and rocks and lava and caves and like stucco mud kind of buildings, all sorts of cool stuff. So there's a lot of different possibilities with that. Yeah. Classic at the Discord support thread. Yeah, we see that all the time. We need to apply for a partner on Twitch. I'm not sure if the Sandbox is eligible for partner yet. I think there's one requirement that we haven't met yet. I think you have to stream 7 times a month or something like that. So I only do this on the weekends because I'm usually pretty busy with Sandbox stuff throughout the week. So if we get some more people from the Sandbox streaming, we might get enough enough activity going on to make partner, but I don't think we're eligible for that yet. And here's the Trayton 11 or XI. We have another way of doing it, do we? As a company. I didn't know you could apply for partner just as a company. Like I said, I've only been doing Twitch for like a year and not even like hardcore, so we have the contacts. Some of the staff might have contacts. I don't really have the contacts, but I can talk to Seb and Rodrigo about possibly setting that up. So this was the giant quadruped template. Now this one is over faces also, so I don't think we noticed that before. That's a little oops on our part. So we would need to work with the artist on simplifying some things here. Like some of these could get squared off. We could reduce poly count in a lot of different ways here. And let's see, we got our animations here. We got our idle. This one doesn't have an attack, I guess, because it would be like for elephants and stuff like that. What's with the faces limit? So these are designed to go into the game maker, and the game maker doesn't like objects over a certain number of faces because it has to deal with a lot of different objects. Yeah, it's 8,566. I mean, we would have to work with them a lot on it. There's a few different ways that I can see that this could get reduced pretty effectively. It's amazing how quickly face counts can go up with voxel art. So we would it is beautiful, yeah. So if that's a winner, we'll definitely work with them on fixing that. It was my job to check those face counts, so I goofed there. Sorry about that. All right, we got a white robot, and also based on the human template. This reminds me of like old like Japanese tin toys from like the 60s and stuff. Kind of like the earliest mech things. And we're almost done here. We got Rococo Lady, which this is based on the human template, but there's a custom animation in this, which is pretty cool. They did a good job with this. VBX, I'm not sure if I fully answered your question about the face limit. So, yeah, the game maker, as they've been working on optimizing things, they found that 5,000 faces, which is the same as 10,000 triangles, is where the game maker stops, optimizing as well, or at least when there could be like thousands of objects on a land, it really starts to add up. So that's kind of a limit that helps us kind of refine the style of what we're doing, but also helps keep the computers happy for lower end machines and stuff. We potentially would like this stuff to go to mobile, and so we really have to be careful that we're not exceeding what a mobile device could handle. So this one's a little bit over detailed from our human template, but it's still within the limitations. And the main thing, so we've got a salute here. So she does a curtsy, which is pretty cool the way they put that together. They had to use some custom that they'd added to the rig and did some custom stuff with that. And I think all the other animations are pretty normal. Oh, they changed the attack to a slap, which is appropriate. And the run has a girly kind of sway to it. So yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff going on there. Oh, I didn't notice before, the hair is animated also. So the hair does a little swing. So there's some cool stuff going on there. And let's see. Got about 8 left here. Dystopian Bird. I think that's what Disto stands for. You can't open an asset this quick with a mid-level notebook. Yeah, so I mean, my computer's still, not that amazing. I've got I think my computer's 3 years old now, and it was kind of mid-level gaming PC. But yeah, if anything 3D graphics is going to struggle more on a mobile graphics card. Once these things are exported, once these are exported as a GLTF and put in the game maker, they run a lot smoother. So the main thing is there's a lot of processing going on in the background for this stuff. So here's another security camera bird, I guess, because we had the surveillance owl before, and then this one just looks like a security camera head on a bird here. Pepe asks about limitations on assemblies, like too many parts. The hanging bridge, hanging bridge is amazing. I saw that. That was really, really good. Has 50 single parts. I haven't encountered issues with that yet. Now your hanging bridge isn't animated, like it's not swinging, so I think it should be fine. You might notice in VOXEL it might struggle a little bit with doing that many keyframes if you were to animate something like that, especially on the keyframe, the timeline viewer. You would see all those dots flying by, and it would that's usually when my computer starts getting a little upset with things. But for exporting it, I don't think that'll be too big of an issue. It's at least not something that I've encountered yet. So the Bone Dragon worked pretty well, and that was a good number of pieces. Do you remember how many were in that? All right, we got a mechanical dinosaur here. So this is another template-based one, but they did a cool thing with separating the limbs off, like they're suspended magnetically. All right, we got Green Mutant. We're almost done here, guys. All right, so after we're done going through this, we'll finish up the contest. 45, yeah, well that's close to 50. So if it could handle 45, I think it can handle 50. I haven't been told a limitation for individual nodes. I guess at some point it would get ridiculous, but as long as the geometry is good, I think we're fine. All right, so this is based on the human template, but you can see that it's been modified heavily to fit this guy. Does it even have a head? I think that counts as the head, right? Yep. Yeah, so the head is this little eye thing. So this is the kind of cool stuff that you can do when you offset the pivot points of nodes, and you really kind of stretch what you're doing. We've got some really creative artists here who are taking our templates and really shaking things up. Look at that. It's great. All right, here's the big robot. We got a bunch of robots. This is based on... Is this not a template? I thought this was based on the Dinosaur template, but I could be wrong. So this is kind of like a Howl's Moving Castle kind of thing, almost. It's got a cool little swinging sign here. Spinning wheels. And a walk. So I guess you'd use this as like a security guard or something. It's got a camera up top, so that's pretty unique. Bowman. This is the one that I mentioned is the same artist as the Bloody Axe Warrior. Bloody Axe Knight? I don't remember what it was called. And yep, it's the human template. And I don't think there's custom animations here. I'm pretty sure the attack is, yeah, it's just a punch. So it would be cool if we could get some like archery animations in there, but that's something that might change with the templates also, because in the future we plan on adding more animations to the templates. So it's those are the kind of things you'll see. We might get the templates to be more advanced than they were before, and it might apply retroactively. I'm not sure on that. We'll have to see how things go. Right, we've got. I forgot what the name on this one was. I missed it. So yeah, some of the animations we would need to fix this before publishing, because it accidentally goes backwards. I think they spun it around while editing, but not all of them. So what happens in the game maker with something like this, if you have like a run, they end up moonwalking, so they'll be moving in the direction of the arrow, but they'll be running backwards. So it's a simple rotation. We would just add a new node at the root and put everything on it, and rotate it on the first keyframe, and then it just flips everything after that. So really simple fix. And last one, this one has some cool custom animations. It's based on the human template. Oop, moving my armrest. It's based on the human template, but it's got unique attacks. So this one was really neat. Really great design with these glowing green bottles, and it's got this sickle. They call it a spear, scythe or sickle or whatever. So when he runs, you can see it's a separate object that he's holding. Idle. Then there's a run 2 with it down low, running kind of like samurai style with the weapon down. And I thought there's the run 3. I already showed that one. Run 1 has it on the back, so weapons put away. Interact is done with the opposite arm from the regular human template, so it's done on that side. Then it's got multiple attacks. It's got a thrust attack, and then it's got a two-handed swipe attack, which that's really sweet. And is that everything? There's a get hit and walk. I feel like the walk looks a little bit different from the regular human template, but I'm not. That might just be my brain. And then death. So yeah, great animations on that one. That was really like unexpected, because it looked like it was just a regular human. All right, so let's see what we got for the giveaway. We've got 22 entries. So I am going to donate one of my lands for this particular entry. Be sure to share the stream on Fridays and Saturdays. I mean, the stream's only on Saturdays, but share it ahead of time that you'll be watching, because we want as many people to get opportunities to get these lands. And if we hit close to like 100 or over 100 viewers, then I think the Sandbox is going to chip in lands for it. So for this one, I'll just I'm giving out one of my own, just because viewer count was kind of low today. So yeah, we'll go ahead and last minute, if you want to join the giveaway, if you're not in there already, go to twitch.tv/thesandboxgame to enter, and in the chat type in !sand for me, numeral 4, and that will enter you. Toart asks, does VoxEdit have material with transparency? I think some of these creations could look more cool if they had glass material. It does not have transparency at this time. I do not know if it's going to get added. There are some transparent things in the game maker. Water is transparent. But for objects, the difficulty is that you end up working with more materials, and it kind of complicates things. So that might get added in the future, but right now it's not in there. It's what I've seen you working in other programs. I kind of understand why transparency isn't in there right now, because sometimes you end up accidentally like looking into the object when materials are right up next to each other. So it's a possibility, but there are some technical issues that would have to get worked out. All right, so we're gonna stop the giveaway, and Cajun wins a land. So I will direct message you after the stream is over. And I guess any last questions? We talked a little bit about the Game Maker. Hopefully next week I will get to show you all those new features. So we'll have, we should, as long as everything's working correctly, we'll have a new land experience to show with a demonstration, and then I can show you on stream. Don't forget to vote in the giveaway, guys. So all those things I just showed you, make sure you go to the forum, which I'm going to post. I'm going to paste that into the chat here again. So go to that forum thread to vote and follow the links for your additional 4 votes on Gleam, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So make sure you post on all of those. All right, and congratulations, Cajun, and congratulations. I don't remember your name off the top of my head, but I have it saved here in the back. So the winner of the NFT. Stay tuned, and I will contact you soon. All right, so everybody have a great weekend. I will hopefully see you all next week, same time. And stay safe out there, stay healthy, and make sure to say hi to your loved ones. All right. Bye, everybody.